Hello everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Infiniti. If you don't know, I'm the face, the voice, and the hands behind all the content here under Infiniti Crafting Co. and the blog site InfinitiCraftingCompany.com. Today, I am excited to bring to you part 3 of the crochet design along. It has been a wild, 4 weeks we've spanned out for this project. It's been wild and I couldn't be happier to be finishing this project with you guys today. I was able to get through the segment for today. We are going to be addressing the neckline because if you haven't noticed, that opening's a little large, and I don't know about y'all, but at least on me, mine was hanging to like here, and I brought it up to about here. So there's that little clue in for that. I was able to get through this project finally without adding any additional skeins, apart from the one from last episode, part 2. So this is what I had left of that 4th skein. I played yarn chicken with the green, and shockingly enough, I had so much white left over. I had an extra skein left over of the white and a partial skein. So I only really used 2 for this whole sweater, which I found to be interesting. But nonetheless, here we are. I don't have a whole lot extra for this intro, so without further ado, we're going to jump into the tutorial. Do me a favor before we do, hit that subscribe button, and please hit that thumbs up button so that you don't miss out on future content, and it lets YouTube know that my content is awesome. So without further ado, let's get into crochet. Alright, I am back here for the neckline segment of this sweater. I have determined that we are going to do a pretty simple version of a collar on this particular sweater since it is so busy. I thought that simple was best. Because my sweater, the predominant color is red, and I ended on a row of red from my front and back panels, I'm going to be joining white to this sweater to start off my rounds of decreases. So what I'll have written out in the instructions is to determine which side is going to be your front, which side is going to be your back. You're going to insert your hook into the center stitch on the back panel. So I've already stuck my hook there. It doesn't have to be exact for what we're doing here, but you're going to want to connect your yarn with a chain 1. And you're going to single crochet into the base of that chain 1. Now I'm going to weave in my end just a little bit here. I'm going to leave it hanging out because I will be sewing on a garment tag later. Alright, and I'm going to put a single crochet in each stitch along until I get to the corners. And I'm going to stop 1 stitch away from that 90-degree angle. So I'm going to stop here. Alright, now that I have 1 stitch left before I get to this corner here, I'm going to again be decreasing on this first round. So I'll be doing 3 single crochet together. So I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to get rid of this stitch marker because he's in the way. I'm going to insert my hook into that corner space, yarn over, pull up a loop. I have 3 loops on my hook. And then I'm going to go right through the center of this double crochet that's starting to go up vertically. And I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop. I have 4 loops on my hook. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops on my hook. And that's what I want to do at each of these corners. So now I'm going to start working up this arm strap here. And again, because these aren't actual stitches, they are the sides, like they're vertical stitches. If you did regular chains, then you would just kind of want to gauge and place it through the center of that chain. Or if you did the alternative method like I did, you can kind of see makeshift stitches to work into, but you're only going to put 1 single crochet into each of them. So now I worked in a white stitch, so now I'm going to work in a red stitch with a single crochet. I'm going to work through the center of that white stitch with a single crochet. red stitch, single crochet, hopefully not plying your yarn, white stitch, single crochet. And I'm going to do this all the way until I get to the seam here, and I will be working into that seam like I have my other ones, and I'll show you how to do that also. Alright, and when we get to this seam here, what we're going to do, move this tail out of my way because I'll weave it in later. I'm going to work into that seam with a single crochet. So just right in the center, just going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and single crochet one into that. And then I'm going to come over here to the other side and start working down those other stitches so I can get to my corner. Alright, and now I've come to a point where I am one row above the corner. I have my corner where the stitch marker is, and then I start working back into those actual stitches that are going across horizontally. So again, I want to make a decrease, and I am going to insert my hook into the side of this stitch here, yarn over, pull up a loop. Gonna get this stitch marker out the way. I'm gonna work into that corner stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then I'm gonna work into that first horizontal stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. I have 4 loops on my hook, and now I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on my hook. Just kind of turn my work around here. And now I'm going to continue to work all the way across here till I get to that other corner, and then I can work up the other side of the arms, back down, and across the back, and I'm going to close this round with a slip stitch. I'll be back when I get to that point. Alright, I have reached the end of my round. I'm back here at the beginning, and I'm going to insert my hook there. I'm not going to finish that stitch off yet because I'm going to switch back to my red yarn here, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this white yarn. Right, and I'm going to complete my slip stitch with the red yarn, and this gives you a nice seamless color change. And I'm going to weave in my ends as I go. So this next round, you're going to chain up 1, single crochet into the base of that chain 1, and then you're going to place 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around, and I'll meet you guys back when I get to the end. Alright, I am at the end of this round of single crochets, and I'm going to be changing my color back to white. I do want to make mention that the previous stitch count on my project for our first round was 112. So I'll be wanting to do my decreases in increments that will divide evenly into 112. Alright, gonna close that slip stitch, gonna chain 1, and I'm going to single crochet into the base of that chain 1. Alright, and so for this first round, what I will want to do is single crochet into the next 7 stitches. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm gonna make our 8th single crochet. Alright, and now we are going to single crochet 2 together to create a decrease. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. There's 2 loops on your hook. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. There are 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 stitches to create your first decrease. So we are going to decrease on this round after every 8 stitches. And my rationale behind this, considering the amount of stitches I had around my neck hole, was way too large, as I will show off in a little clip here. I wanted to make some very gradual decreasing along the neckline, because this is an oversized sweater, but I don't necessarily want it to hang off the shoulders, and I also don't want it to look weird as I draw in the neck. So there's that. So we will end up with a total of 14 decreases if you're making this size. And I try to leave this pattern as open as possible because people come in all shapes and sizes. And I know everybody's sweater is going to look a little different. Alright. I'm going to go back into making my single crochets. I'm going to do 8 of those. So there's 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8. Alright, and now we are going to make a decrease here. Alright, and we're going to do this all the way around our pattern until we reach the end of our round, where we will be changing color and closing with a slip stitch. Alright, and I am at the end of my round, so again, I'll be changing color. And I'm going to chain up 1 to secure my yarn. And as you may have guessed it, we are going to single crochet all the way around until we get back to the beginning of the row. And then we're going to close this round with a slip stitch. Alright, now I've reached the end of my round yet again, and I'm going to go ahead and change my color back to the white. Now for this round, we are not going to be doing any decreasing. We are just going to single crochet in the base of the chain 1 and in each stitch around until we reach the end. Alright, now I just got to find my red yarn here. We are at the end of the round, and we are going to close it with a slip stitch, changing back to our red color. So the row we just completed was row 4, or round 4. And for rounds 5 through 10, we are just going to do rows of single crochet all the way around, alternating our colors as we have been. Alright, and I am coming to the last stitch of my row, so I'm just going to insert my hook and single crochet, and I'm going to insert my hook into the first stitch of the round. Now, I'm going to cut my yarn here, and I'm going to be using the last bit of green that I have available for this project. I'm going to attach it. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is chain up one, and I'm going to single crochet into the base of that chain one. And what I'm going to do is create one single crochet in each stitch around, and I'll meet you guys back for round 12. Alright, and coming to the end of round 11, gonna close the round with a slip stitch. We will not be changing color for this. Now what I want to do is chain up 2, and I've gone back to using my alternative chaining method here. And what we're going to do is we are going to place one double crochet in each stitch around. That chain 2 does count as a stitch. So I'm going to work into the next stitch, and the next stitch, and the next stitch. Doing this all the way around until I reach the end, and then I'm going to join the round with a slip stitch. Alright, I'm coming to the end of round 12 with all these double crochets. And like I said, we want to close this round with a slip stitch, and I'm going to be slip stitching into that first stitch of the round, and then I'm going to chain up 2 to move on to round 13. Alright, so for round 13, I'm going to be repeating the ribbing pattern that is around the sleeve here. So I am going to go ahead and do a front post double crochet around the next stitch, and a back post double crochet around the next stitch. And I'm going to alternate this pattern all the way around until I reach the end, and then I'm going to join with a slip stitch again. Alright, I'm coming to the end of my round here. And I'm ending on a front post double crochet, and I am going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 2 from the beginning of the row. So what I'm going to do is chain up 2, And I am going to continue this pattern of front post, back post, double crochet for 2 or 3 more rows, and I will meet you guys back when I have fastened off. And I'm back. So I have made it all the way around this sweater. I've done 2 rows, and now I am ready to fasten off. So I'm going to insert my hook into that chain 2 from the beginning of the row, make a slip stitch, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the actual stitch right next to it, and then I'm going to chain 1 to bind off. And we are done. Now all we want to do is go through and weave in all of our ends, and like I said at the beginning of all this, I'm going to sew in one of my tags to my sweater. Oh no, where'd the coat go? Let's zoom out just a little bit here. So the only strings I have left for this sweater are the ones that happened as I did my color change for those 10 or 11 rows, and then I might have 1 or 2 on the seams of the shoulders, but other than that I'm good to go. So I'm going to go through those, weave in anything that needs to be woven in, snip everything that needs to be snipped, and I will meet you guys back after I've sewn my tag onto the back of my sweater. Alright, so that didn't take too long, guys. I am so happy to be done with this sweater. You guys couldn't even believe. In part because, you know, again, this is my favorite time of year, and these are my favorite kind of projects to design. The kind that are just wild and unplanned and spontaneous, you know, and obnoxiously festive. So this is the finished product. I went really simple with the neckline. As you guys can see, it is a simple ribbing, and I think it just ties together the rest of the sweater nicely considering how extravagant the sleeves are. I will be trying this on eventually. Just trust me. I'll try it on, and I'll probably post it in a reel or something, or what do they call it on YouTube? A short. So be on the lookout for that. That's why you want to be subscribed, so you don't miss out on my goofy content, because I can almost guarantee you that it will be an awkward try-on. Nonetheless, I look forward to it. I'll take a couple minutes and remove all my other stitch markers. But yeah, this is our masterpiece. This is my masterpiece. I am so happy with how it looks, both on the mannequin and on me, because I have put this on, believe it or not, while I was, you know, measuring out that neckline. And when I actually first finished the sleeves, I was so just here. I decided to try it on, and it fit wonderfully, exactly how I envisioned it to. So, you know, there's that. There's that. I hope you guys enjoyed this process as much as I did. If this video gets 20 likes, I will come back around midweek or maybe the weekend and do a segment on sewing on bells, because I have an obnoxious quantity of jingle bells. I still have some in my notions basket over here on my shelf because like I said, about 3 years ago I did the first version, and I'll probably show that off as well, aside from the picture, because I could still get into it, and I've actually lost a lot of weight since the last time I wore that, so it should fit a little bit better. But anyway, guys, I'm going to start rambling and TMIing and all that. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas, and until next time, guys, happy making! There's my freight check top. I swear, every time I open a new thing of freight check, I lose the top. It's here, next to my mannequin. I'll do better.